In June 2025, during a tense shareholder meeting, Elon Musk issued a warning that never reached the headlines, but rapidly spread through internal transcripts and industry circles. He wasn't referring to AI, war, or economic collapse. His words were simpler and sharper. The most toxic thing Americans consume every day is in their drinks, and they don't even know it. As strange as it sounds, the numbers support his claim. New data from the CDC and FDA in 2025 revealed a disturbing rise in hospitalizations linked to beverages Americans drink daily without a second thought. Bottled teas have been found to contain undisclosed herbal stimulants. Children's fruit juices tested positive for lead and arsenic. Zero-sugar sodas were linked to liver damage. Energy drinks are hiding double doses of caffeine by exploiting legal loopholes. Even coffee, once seen as the safest comfort for the working class, wasn't exempt. Some bottled variants were recalled this year for containing actual shards of glass. While society has been obsessed with counting carbs and calories, the darker reality has slipped by unnoticed. The real threat might not lie on our plates, but in our cups. This is the Downturn Report, where truth gets personal. And today, we're exposing 7 drinks Elon Musk called poison, with good reason. Number 1. Prime Energy Drink. This drink doesn't knock, it barges straight through your child's screen. One day it's part of a TikTok challenge, and the next, it's glowing in your fridge like a neon warning sign. Prime Energy didn't quietly enter the market. It stormed in, spreading caffeine and hype across school hallways and gaming headsets. Flashy packaging and endorsements from internet stars Logan Paul and KSI made the drink feel like a status symbol. For kids, consuming it was like being part of the show. But what if the punchline is more dangerous than we thought? Each can contains 200 milligrams of caffeine, equivalent to more than 6 cans of Coca-Cola in a single serving. It's not just a drink, it's a jolt to the nervous system. In July 2024, this caffeine load made headlines when Senator Chuck Schumer called it a stealth health risk for children. He wasn't exaggerating. Schools began banning the product. Emergency rooms reported children arriving with rapid heart rates, shaking hands, and nausea, all from a single can. When an energy boost lands a child in the is it still just a drink, or a legal drug in disguise? What's more troubling is how Prime skirts regulations by labeling itself a dietary supplement, sliding through legal loopholes like a greased football at recess. Even when independent testing revealed caffeine levels exceeding what was printed on the can, the company offered no explanation, no lab reports, no transparency, just more flashy stunts and influencer smiles. And then there's the marketing. It isn't done through commercials, but through parasocial pressure. Logan Paul doesn't merely sell Prime, he lives it. He chugs it on live streams, hoists it before a fight, and laughs with it in viral videos. To kids, he's not a spokesperson, he's a role model holding a caffeine-packed accessory. That's not advertising. That's manipulation dressed up as friendship. But is Prime solely to blame? Or is the real issue the environment we've created, one where soda sales fall, attention spans vanish, and companies lean on influencers to do their bidding? Prime is merely the product. The system is the real salesman. Still, there's room for better choices. Brands like Runa Clean Energy and Sound's sparkling yerba mate rely on plant-based caffeine. Better yet, make your own, brew green tea, squeeze in lemon, drizzle in honey, and you've got a real energy drink, one with soul, not spin. Kids love bubbles? Add a splash of homemade fizz. Simple, honest, no viral stunt required. Before we demonize a brand, maybe we should ask, what pressures drive a company to chase clicks over caution? When success is measured in views instead of values, maybe even these companies are victims of the game they're accused of playing. Because this isn't just about Prime. It's about how far we've let marketing reach into our kitchens. Why does a child's self-worth feel tied to what's in their lunchbox? In the end, it's about more than one drink. It's about what we're willing to swallow just because it's trending. Number 2. Nestlé bottled water. It's just water, right? A clear bottle with a blue cap and a picturesque snow-covered mountain on the label. harmless, refreshing, trustworthy. The kind of thing you grab at the gas station, throw in your cart at Walmart, or stockpile during a summer sale. Nestlé's bottled water brands, Pure Life, Poland Spring, Arrowhead, have quietly settled into American homes like well-behaved guests. But what if that guest has been quietly draining your house behind your back? In spring 2024, the illusion was shattered. Nestlé was exposed for extracting hundreds of millions of gallons of public groundwater for pennies, even as towns in California, Michigan, and Florida pleaded for relief. In Michigan, where residents still flinch at the word tap after the Flint disaster, Nestlé legally pulled over 400,000 gallons of water per day, paying less than the cost of a decent pair of sneakers. Then they bottled it, labeled it, and sold it back for profit. But it doesn't end there. In early 2025, the Natural Resources Defense Council revealed something even worse. Nestlé had operated some facilities under expired permits or in regulatory dead zones. In California's San Bernardino National Forest, their water rights expired in 1988. Yet they kept pumping through droughts, wildfires, and climate warnings, as though Mother Nature herself had given permission. While forests withered and rivers dried, trucks departed daily, filled with bottled purity. But that purity came at the cost of sacred land. Indigenous groups across North America protested, accusing Nestlé of bottling ancestral springs and converting heritage into merchandise. One voice pierced the noise. They bottle our past and sell us back our future, and those shiny bottles? They don't vanish. Nestlé's water empire produces over 1 million single-use plastic bottles per minute. Though the company claims it will switch to eco-friendly packaging by 2030, internal documents leaked in 2025 revealed that those goals are as empty as the bottles themselves. Meanwhile, oceans buckle under the weight of what we thought was just hydration. Let's not paint Nestlé as a lone villain. These multinational giants dance to tunes played by Wall Street, not Main Street, pressured by shareholders, squeezed by costs, and addicted to constant growth. Maybe Nestlé didn't create the broken system, but they sure learned how to play it well. That's the real tragedy. When the cleanest thing in your fridge is soaked in controversy, what are you really drinking? Water, or the cost of looking the other way? Maybe it's time to stop letting billion-dollar corporations bottle our choices. Grocery store refill stations offer clean water at a fraction of the cost, without the plastic guilt. Home filtration systems like Berkey or Zero Water provide control, without funding a corporate PR machine. Even filling a reusable bottle from a tested municipal source chips away at the lie we've been sold. And if you've ever felt powerless, remember this: Nestlé doesn't fear government regulators. They fear informed consumers. Because when Pure Life means draining ecosystems and selling them back in disposable promises, maybe the real poison isn't in the bottle. It's in pretending we didn't notice. Recent research from 2024 has linked aspartame, an ingredient found in many diet beverages, to insulin resistance, disruption of the gut microbiome, and ironically, weight gain. So much for the so-called miracle drink. Coke Zero, which promised to help us avoid these very conditions, might actually be pushing us closer to them. But the brilliance of the marketing doesn't lie in the formula. It lies in the image. Coca-Cola wasn't just selling a drink. They were selling an aspiration. Their commercials were filled with athletes, influencers, and catchy slogans. Coke Zero became more than just a beverage. It was a lifestyle, a rebellion you could indulge in guilt-free. A slick escape from sugar and consequences. Yet when the shine fades, who truly gained from it all? To their credit, Coca-Cola stood by aspartame's safety, citing approvals from agencies like the FDA and EFSA. But it's important to remember, regulatory approval doesn't always mean protection. In a world where profits often speak louder than public health data, and where low calorie is a billion-dollar buzzword, it's no surprise that regulatory loopholes are exploited faster than you can crack open a can. If the officials tasked with ensuring food safety are swayed by industry lobbyists, where does that leave the average consumer? Perhaps Coca-Cola isn't a cartoon villain twirling its mustache. Perhaps it's simply one of many brands caught in the relentless calorie-cutting arms race, forced to experiment with synthetic substitutes just to stay relevant. Maybe they didn't light the fire, they just kept it burning to survive. But that doesn't make the damage any less real. So what should we do when we still crave the familiar fizz? You don't have to abandon carbonation. Try kombucha, such as Health Aid or GT's. These drinks have under 5 grams of sugar and come with probiotic benefits. Brew your own iced hibiscus tea and add a squeeze of lime. It's bright, refreshing, and naturally sweet. If you just want the sparkle, opt for plain seltzer with muddled berries or slices of citrus. These options offer real flavor without the hidden health hazards. Because when a company claims zero means safe, but science suggests otherwise, you're not just avoiding sugar, you're dodging the truth. And maybe it's time we all started asking, what else have we been drinking without knowing the real cost? Now, let's talk about Celsius energy drinks. At first glance, Celsius looks like the smart choice. Sleek in design, clean fonts, and eye-catching phrases like metabolism support and no sugar scream health-conscious appeal. This isn't just a drink, it's a statement, popular among gym-goers, yoga enthusiasts, and anyone swapping their morning coffee for a cleaner boost. But what happens when your go-to wellness beverage turns out to be quietly working against your health? In 2024, hospitals across the U.S. began reporting unusual cases of acute liver injury in otherwise healthy adults, many of whom had one thing in common: regular consumption of Celsius. Toxicology journals documented elevated liver enzymes, nausea, jaundice, and in some instances, hospitalizations. One young man even developed a rare form of liver toxicity after mixing Celsius with workout supplements. And what did the company say? Nothing. No updated warnings on the label, no disclaimers on the website, no alerts between their high-gloss ads and influencer endorsements. Even more troubling is what's inside the can. Celsius claims to contain 200 milligrams of caffeine, but that number might be more of an estimate than a guarantee. Why? Because it also includes guarana, a natural source of caffeine that, due to labeling loopholes, doesn't need to be counted in the total. Add in green tea extract, and the actual caffeine content could be significantly higher. For individuals with heart conditions, high blood pressure, or even just older age, that's not just an energy boost, it's a health risk. And then there's the lawsuit. In early 2023, Celsius quietly paid $7.8 million in a class action settlement over its claim of having no preservatives. Turns out, the drink contains citric acid. The company insisted it was for flavor, not preservation, but the distinction didn't hold up. If they're willing to blur the lines on something as simple as a label, what else are they being less than transparent about? Celsius markets itself as the smart person's energy drink, not your typical gas station sugar bomb. But with excessively high stimulants and zero clear usage guidelines, it's a danger in disguise, particularly for people with anxiety, arrhythmias, or pre-existing liver concerns. And the science backing Celsius? Much of it is funded by the company itself or lacks the strength to pass credible peer review. That's not evidence, it's marketing dressed up in a lab coat. Still, maybe the larger issue isn't just Celsius. It's the system itself. Energy drinks have become fashion statements in the fitness world, filling gym coolers, dominating health blogs, and saturating social media. With billions on the line, brands race to make louder promises, not safer ones. Perhaps Celsius simply got swept up in the competition. If you're looking for a natural energy boost without the backlash, try beet juice for sustained endurance, or brew a matcha latte for a smoother pick-me-up. A splash of apple cider vinegar with ginger and lemon can also rev up your system, without the deception. Because real energy shouldn't come with hidden dangers. And if a product marketed as fitness fuel puts you in the then the real workout isn't at the gym, it's in the fight for transparency and wellness. Next up, bottled fruit juice. For generations, fruit juice felt like love in a cup. Apple juice in your lunchbox, grape juice after school, orange juice with breakfast. Parents handed over juice boxes like gold stars, trusting they were giving their kids something wholesome. Labels boasted 100% juice, while brands like Mott's and Juicy Juice wrap themselves in imagery of orchards, sunshine, and carefree childhood. But in 2024, that sense of safety was shattered. A joint investigation by Consumer Reports and the Environmental Working Group tested dozens of the most popular juices sold in the US. The results were disturbing. Nearly half of the samples contained measurable levels of heavy metals like lead, arsenic, or cadmium, the very toxins associated with learning disabilities, liver damage, and certain cancers. And these weren't obscure off-brand products. These were mainstream options. Mott's apple juice, Juicy Juice grape juice, great value fruit blends. The same ones likely sitting in millions of American refrigerators. Shockingly, the highest contamination levels were often found in juices marketed specifically to children. One batch of Juicy Juice grape juice had arsenic levels more than twice California's recommended safety limit. This isn't a minor oversight, it's a loaded gun in a toddler's sippy cup. Yet the labels kept smiling. No added sugar. All natural. No hint of the toxic cocktail inside. How did this happen? Most juice concentrates used in these products come from overseas, countries like China, Argentina, and Turkey, where safety standards for pesticides and heavy metals are far more lenient. Once imported to the US, they're diluted, bottled, and legally sold as 100% juice. There's no requirement for companies to disclose where their fruit was grown or how it was treated. That morning glass of pure apple juice could have originated in fields irrigated with arsenic-laced water decades ago. And here's the kicker. While the FDA enforces strict limits on lead and arsenic in drinking water, it sets no binding caps for these contaminants in many fruit juices. That's not a loophole, it's a canyon, wide enough to drive a tanker of imported concentrate right through it. Even after the report, not a single major brand recalled their products. No labels were changed. No public warnings were issued. The bottles stayed on shelves. Children kept drinking. Parents stayed in the dark. Maybe the brands aren't entirely to blame. In a system that prizes low cost, long shelf life, and a sweet taste, companies are under pressure to cut corners just to stay competitive with soda. But when the price of staying competitive is putting children's health at risk, is that a trade-off we're really willing to accept? So, what's a safer alternative? Avoid the juice aisle altogether. Blend fresh fruits with water or ice to create smoothies that deliver fiber, nutrients, and real flavor, without the metal. Try infusing water with orange slices, mint, or cucumber for a refreshing and safe drink. For convenience, look for brands like Once Upon a Farm, which offer cold-pressed, organic blends made from whole produce. No concentrate, no guessing. Detox and herbal teas are thoughtfully crafted to support your body's natural cleansing processes, aid digestion, boost metabolism, and promote overall wellness. Made from 100% natural ingredients with no artificial additives, these blends are rich in antioxidants and healing herbs. The Slimming Detox Tea combines green tea, dandelion root, senna, and lemongrass to promote weight management and eliminate toxins. Ideal for morning or evening use. For digestive support, our herbal blend with peppermint, fennel, ginger, and licorice root soothes the stomach and reduces bloating, making it perfect after meals. The Liver Cleanse Tea, featuring milk thistle, burdock root, and turmeric, helps detoxify the liver and supports healthy skin. For those seeking restful sleep and emotional balance, our Sleep and Relaxation Tea with chamomile, lavender, and valerian root is a caffeine-free solution to ease the mind and body. Our Immunity Boost Tea, infused with echinacea, elderberry, rose hips, and green tea, enhances the body's defense system naturally. Finally, the Skin Glow Herbal Tea, crafted with rooibos, hibiscus, rose petals, and nettle, supports skin hydration and radiance. Each blend offers a unique experience designed to nourish you from the inside out.